Hello everyone, so I have some video footage here of a bunch of destroyed railroad tank cars in Russia. This incident was first reported a couple of days ago, but at the time we didn't have video footage. Now we have this footage here that's been shared showing the damage. This was reportedly done by Russian partisans, but there's no word yet if Ukrainian intelligence helped organise or fund it or that sort of thing. But it is very likely. A couple of months ago, if you remember, there was a train derailed on a railway line which heads into China. This one was derailed near a tunnel, and if I remember right, there was also a blast at the tunnel itself. This was claimed to be organised by Ukrainian intelligence. So that is very likely the case here, that Ukrainian intelligence had their fingers in this little incident here. So, 9 tank cars can be seen in the video footage, in quite bad condition. The Fat Controller wouldn't be too pleased if this happened on Sodor. As well as fire damage, the chap filming also shows some of the cracks and holes and damage to the underside of the trucks as well. Many of them, much like the average Russian ship, are now full of holes. So this was a pretty big blow to Russia here. Now, interestingly, all of the holes and damage seems to be at the bottom of the tank cars underneath them. No damage is seen to the wheels of the trucks themselves or to the tracks. So to me, this looks like the train was stationary and the partisans sneaked over to it, planted small explosive charges on a bunch of the tank cars underneath them, then destroying them, or should I say, blowing a big hole in them. So quite a big loss here. Not just the oil inside the tank cars has gone, but the tank cars themselves are clearly damaged underneath with holes in them. Partisans have hit Russia's railway lines a lot in the past. I expect given Russia's expansive railway network, these are seen as weak targets for them to hit, as the railways are vulnerable. Plus, hitting a train like this causes a lot of damage. I don't think this is the last time we'll see partisans taking out a train inside Russia. Now, the original video has some commentary by the Happy Ticket Inspector. I'll play it now. It hasn't been translated yet, but if someone can do a rough summary or point out if he says anything interesting, I'll pin the comment. If you're not interested in watching it, just skip ahead a couple of minutes so we can check where this takes place.
Понял. Так, вот вагончики, которые рванули. Вот он весь. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь, 9 штук. Вот они взрывчики какие были. Вот видно вмятина вовнутрь. И пошли дальше, все раз сгоревшее. Вот здесь даже раму повело. Вот он, взрыв вовнутрь. Повырывало. Смотрите, толщина какая. По сравнению с пальцем. Сейчас их подрезочку все. У нас. Вот она. Охренеть. Это какой же силы взрыв был. Ложили вот сюда, в нишу, чтобы не было видно. Видите, как вздуло от взрыва. Ну вот это вообще шедеврально. Вот это дырдошка. Шаусмас. Ой, здесь даже бочка вздулась. Вот они. В эти ниши ложат, чтобы не замечали дежурные по станции. И вот они взрыв.
So, let's see where this took place. The train was in this area here, near San Donato Railroad Station. This you can see is near a big oil facility. These lines look to be heavily industrial lines. Zoomed out, you can see that this is north of a big industrial city called Nizhny Tagil. you can see a massive industrial site pretty much in the centre of the town. Looks a pretty grim place to live, to be honest. Now, interestingly, whilst preparing this video, I also found out that this city is home to the largest main battle tank manufacturer in the world, called Ural Vagon Zavod. So I think it very probable that this oil train hit here and others nearby here may be carrying oil to this massive factory. The factory is currently carrying out the modernisation of T-72 tanks to the T-72B3 variant, as well as producing the T-90M. So, hopefully, the oil was intended for that facility, and this will impede operations here, the construction of these new tanks. So, pretty interesting. It says online that the production of the T90 makes up 18 to 20% of the company's production, as well as making tanks for the Russian army. Tanks intended for export have also been built here, including the T90Ss ordered by India. If you'll remember, some of those T90Ss were pilfered by Russia to be sent to Ukraine rather than be sent to India. As well as tanks, it also produces railway cars, road building vehicles, and agricultural vehicles, as well as metal products, tools, and consumer goods. So, pretty sizable facility. This would, of course, be a major target for Ukraine, but as we'll see in a minute, it is well beyond Ukraine's ability to hit it. But hopefully, the oil was intended for this, and this will, hinder operations a little bit here. If Ukraine can't hit the facility themselves, maybe partisans can hit the trains heading to it. It would be pretty interesting if these same partisans groups can actually hit a train carrying finished tanks from the factory intended to be headed to Ukraine. That would be a very worthwhile target. And zoomed out, you can see this is pretty far from Ukraine, closer to Kazakhstan, in the region of central Russia. Now, I've no idea if this train, or any others in this area and on this line, hauling oil, are actually for military purposes, or civilian, or industrial. I guess there's no way to tell for sure, but still, it gives Russia a bit of a headache fixing this mess. And wherever the intended destination, it won't be getting there now. Not to mention, we may see, if these attacks keep up, Russia having to deploy guards or soldiers or something like that to protect the trains and the railway lines more from partisans, because they are causing quite a bit of damage, which must surely be a bit of a headache for Russia. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it interesting. Now, I'm going to play a video from the Ukraine Volunteer Centre about the handover of equipment from a recent fundraiser with them. Thanks so much for watching, and take care, everybody.
Good afternoon, greetings from the Ukrainian Volunteer Center. Now there is a catastrophic lake of cars at the front. Only thanks to you we were able to do it. Also, one of the subscribers of the Statue Memos channel sent us a lot of money for 2 sets of winter uniform. This uniform. If you are interested in helping us with the warm form, which is now needed in a large quantities, write to us by mail. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you very much for your trust. In the description of this video there will be a link to a PayPal and cryptocurrency report. With love from Ukraine.